lot of influences, but it's really about driving passion. You know, I think it's really kind of the classic solo driver. You know, and you can go back to the early 1950s, and you can see a lot of enclosed cockpit full-body cars, including Mercedes SLRs that were set up almost for Grand Prix that were full-body. You know, Veritas. You know, that were BMW powered. Lots of cars.
How many years ago?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The designer is speaking about a concept that was just unveiled.
Yeah.
I thought, let's capture those pithy observations.
Yeah, but I think right now it's an interesting time because I was talking to some members of Ford. You know, they're showing their new Heritage version of the new Ford GT, and I said, because it's all the Golf livery, and it goes back to the original Ford GT Mark I with the Golf livery, and then they did it in 2005, 2006, and now they do it on the new one. And I said, okay, what happens in 2028? Is it going to be GE livery or Edison livery? Right. So the passion somehow still has to come out of this. This is not it's not a vacuum cleaner company. We even if we're I came over here tonight with an Uber, but if it were Saturday morning and it was a back road and I had some hours to spare, I want to be with somebody or by myself, and I want to experience the road, and I want it in a passionate device. Right?
Isn't it amazing how real
animals are? It evokes that feeling of motion. So it just,
Well, this
You've been going for 15 days.
right here
you didn't even write
is you'll see it prevalent in a lot of cars starting in the 1960s. Where look at an Alfa GTV. It starts off with that water line around the car, and then everything is shark-like. It comes underneath, and you can go all the way forward. Matter of fact, even a 63 Corvette has got that water line going around the car. Look at the original Stingray concept race car, and look at something like this. If you were to put that together, you would say, okay, it's part of the same tribe. Right?
But I love how
the water line. I saw the Disco Volante today.
Exactly. Yeah. The original inspiration for the Stingray, the original, that was really, Bill Mitchell saw the Disco Volante, took photos of it, brought it to his skunk works, and said, that's what I want. And then everything from that point on became an interpretation of that.
Brock helped a little bit, right?
Well, yeah, but
I think so.
But it's when you have somebody like Bill Mitchell, I can imagine you can say things in words, because even when Larry Shinoda worked with Bill Mitchell, you could say, well, okay, Pete Brock probably pioneered the original Stingray shape, but with input from Bill Mitchell, verbal input, and then you get into Larry Shinoda. And Larry Shinoda took it another way and evolved it, right? So, you have lots of inspirations.
That's what's so tough about branding and design teams, and so often people want. It's difficult for people to remember more than one person to credit anyway.
Right. Well, music. If you look at genres of music, and you think of think of the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, right? And you think about music from India, from the East, right? And you think about those. Did they invent that music? No, they were inspired by the instruments to bring that in. Then you look at that whole genre of rock and roll and think about that psychedelic era. How whether it was Eric Burden or it was the Doors, you think about their take on it, but yet they all fit in the same tribe. And then it goes into a whole nother era. So to say you have ownership of it is very difficult. You're always inspired, and it's the cocktail that makes it unique. Who invented the hamburger?
There's got to be a conductor or a leader or a design mandate or a brand at least.
Well, let's take a look at Apple. You know, Apple, and you look at Dieter Rams, and you look at Dieter Rams in the mid 1960s, and he's developing designs for just a radio, you know, for devices, a recorder, and you look at Steve Jobs, and you say, well, he understands purity and simplicity and edited design, and he has images of this, and he says, this is what I want. And he brings that into the design arena, and he says, no, that's what I want. And there's so many times. I mean, I worked with Tony Lapine at Porsche, and Tony had a certain idea in his head, and in a way, you have someone coming in and you're designing the suit for them, right? And and he goes, no. So who designed it? You know, it's a cocktail of people. It's a cocktail of influences.
Right.
Yeah. But usually it's like a band that creates something. You know, what's the difference between art center design that comes out of the art center versus Royal College? You can see the DNA. You can absolutely see it.
Absolutely.
So
Very cool.
the best thing a designer can do is shut his computer off and not look, and just and discover nature, discover things that are natural, and don't reiterate or copy what's going on right now.
Huh. Yep. Cool. Terrific comments from Freeman Thomas, the one and only designer of so many wonderful cars we enjoyed today. Volkswagen Beetle, one of many.
Yeah.